All right, good morning, hello, and welcome. Welcome to Inspirational Message Monday on the Every Day is a New Day show. My name is Kim O'Neill, and we come to you live in the 9 a.m. hour every Monday on Facebook and YouTube, and I love being here with you today. I want to give a quick shout out, of course, to live viewers on both Facebook and YouTube, but also awesome podcast replay listeners. I want to give a shout out to, of course, the United States. That's where I am, and that is where I see the most listenership, but also Canada, Israel, and Sudan. I just want to say hello to you. Thank you for listening. And as always, let me know in the comments what you take away from the conversations, or how did it benefit you? What were your thoughts? What came up for you as you listened, or maybe you found the live shows and have watched those? Either way, I love to connect with you, and good to see you out there in the world. So thank you for being here. And moving back over to our show here, we have two books that I'm pulling from today, although I'm primarily just reading from one. And so the two books are, the very first one is, which is where our primary passage will come from. We're going to be pulling from Successful Women Think Differently, Valorie Burton. And it says 9 habits to make you happier, healthier, and more resilient. So, and I'll show you the second book later. Okay, so as I always do, I simply went to my bookshelf and said, okay, what books have the inspired messages for today? And randomly opened up to an inspired passage that I think is fantastic and complete. And so here we go. Today's passage comes from, and in fact, what did I title today's show? I think I titled today's show, yeah, you know what? That's okay. You see the title. I'll see the title again. I think something about successfully thinking differently, or something along those lines. Oh, that all roads lead to success. That's what I titled this. All roads lead to success. All roads lead to success. Really take that in, because that's what this passage speaks to. So with that knowing that all roads lead to success, this passage is coming from page 28 of this book, and it's from the section titled Lessons for Failing Forward. I want to point out, even before I read this, do you see how the difference in those two messages, lessons for failing forward and all roads lead to success? Because you may have a perception of what failure looks like or means. And I'm here to say that yes, I totally get this. Yes, absolutely failing forward. Absolutely right. About making mistakes and still learning and growing and moving forward and all of that. And all roads lead to success. So with that said, okay, here we go. Lessons for failing forward. I'm reading half of each page here. Meredith didn't specifically set out to become the youngest director in the company. She aimed to find a place where her talents could be appreciated, where she could learn and grow, and where a mentor would be an advocate for her. When asked what's next, she mirrors the same approach that has worked for her so far. I don't know what my goal is. I've had such accidental blessings, but I've been ready for them when they showed up, she says. I see it a bit differently. Meredith is the type of woman who aims for passion and excellence. It is a strength so innate to her approach to life that she doesn't even call it a goal, but it leads her to succeed at high levels. She is prepared when opportunity knocks. I don't know what my experiences are preparing me for, but I'm excited about it, Meredith says. I'm optimistic about my future. My 30s are looking pretty good. Those are all in quotes, by the way. We can see many of the 7 decisions in Meredith's story. So, of course, this is speaking to previous aspects of this chapter. She refused to downsize her dream, chose courage over fear, actively sought feedback, and focused on solutions instead of problems. Here are a few more lessons. And what I want to say is a few more lessons of failing forward, or examples of how all roads lead to success. Okay, so here we go. A few different bullet pointed items here. She refused to internalize the negativity she experienced at her first job. Instead, She attributed her failure there to the culture of the company and the stubbornness of her boss, rather than exclusively attributing the problems to her own character flaws or lack of ability. So, okay, we all know about self-awareness. This is speaking to a story that was told earlier in the book. And the point here is not internalizing negativity. Okay, moving on. She failed forward. She was willing to take a step back in order to find a better path. Sometimes you have to course correct. She took a risk. She took decisive action by cutting her losses and starting over. She believed in herself. She knew herself and was able to decipher between her stuff and other people's stuff. When others' negative issues tried to redefine who she was, she recognized it as their stuff and didn't make those issues her own. She volunteered to help with assignments outside of her job description so that she could demonstrate her abilities and also learn and grow. Sometimes sticking it out is not the best option. Sometimes you need to push the reset button and start again. In Meredith's case, a pivotal shift occurred when she realized she was beginning to be pessimistic about her abilities and doubt herself in a way she never had before. She was self-aware and she knew her thoughts were a threat to her future success. She innately understood that she had to turn those thoughts around. She knew it would be an uphill climb to change her thoughts in such a toxic environment, so she changed environments. So, lots of nuggets in there, lots and lots of nuggets in there. And I hope you got those. If any one of those resonated with you and maybe you're kind of sitting with that one and didn't hear some of the others, that's awesome. And there were so many good ones in there that you might want to go back and re-listen to this, because this is simply pointing out that when you start to move in one direction, chart your path forward, and you're noticing the challenges or the stumbling blocks that come across, absolutely learn and grow. And this isn't saying to stop and give up or completely necessarily change everything. It's about being self-aware enough to go, wait a second, what's really off here? And what can I do to shift that, to grow from this, to use this to my benefit so I can move forward? And that's why I say all roads lead to success. Because even if it's a 2 steps forward this way, and then you take some steps back and pivot and move the next direction, I also see that as that windy road we all end up taking to get to whatever the destination is, the goal. So with that, then just a small little piece that I want to share from Jack Canfield's Success Principles. It's not really an excerpt. It's simply a title of a section in here that I randomly opened up to, and it's perfect to share. And it's simply, that's right here, it says, it's a perfect time to thrive. That is for you. It is a perfect time to thrive. And what I also love about this is some of you know that I started a second show. I started a second show recently called The Thrive Show. And so I absolutely love that. So let me take a quick look at the chat. See, we have a couple of you here. Let's take a look. Oh, it looks like we had someone new with us. Helene, you're so welcoming. You're so kind. So hello to Kim Carpenter, who may have been with us. Hello, Roberta. Good to see you. Helene, thank you for your hearts. Oh, thank you, Helene. I appreciate the compliment there. And Helene is saying, I got that. Awesome, awesome. You guys are wonderful. Okay, so moving into the cards, and I do have 2 new card decks today that I'm excited to share. So let's get into just settling in. If you need to take a deep breath, go ahead and do so. You know what? I'm going to actually first pull an Abraham Hicks well-being card. Let's pull a card from this deck. And we pull cards because it's fun, and we get to expand on the reading or see what other messages want to come through our Monday inspiration message shows. So, not that. Let's see here. Okay, what wants to come through to expand on today's reading or add to the message? Mm. I'll give it one more go. Let's see if, okay, here we go. It's down here. What does it say? This says, I look for positive aspects in every experience. Within every particle of the universe is that which is wanted and lack of it. By looking for the positive aspects of whatever you are giving your attention to, you maintain your connection to well-being. Absolutely. I'm often reminded of a fantastic story that Eliyahu Gian shared on the Every Day is a New Day show last year. If you didn't see that, it's a fantastic story. Yeah, maybe I'll go and kind of edit out just that story alone. But it was a fantastic story of this big vision and goal he had, something to do with giving a big speech in another country. And he and a few of the people from his team, they went to this country. They got there and I forget the details surrounding this, but somehow they ended up getting arrested or taken into custody by authorities, and it made no sense. It wasn't justified, but they were taken into custody, and the people on his team, of course, were very concerned, anxious, maybe fearful even. And Eliyahu did the complete opposite. He said, no, this is the best thing ever. And he maintained that positive outlook, even despite circumstances that would have been so easy to just claim otherwise. And because part of the vision was they're going to be able to share their message with this massively large audience and make a huge impact, positive impact in that country or region they were going to. And what ended up happening, I just remember, again, I don't remember all the details, but I remember that they had been in custody for a while. They didn't know the outcome, very uncertain. And then they ended up being released, and something linked to how they were released actually was the key to connecting them with a really large audience. It may have been the news or something like that. Again, don't quote me. I'm just vaguely recalling this. I just remember the essence of the story. It was this fantastic story where he kept the faith despite outside circumstances. And that's what I hear coming through this. I look for positive aspects in every experience. And this is not saying, if that's not an immediate go-to, right? I imagine, and Eliyahu probably even talked about it in the interview, I imagine that wasn't Eliyahu's immediate go-to response of everything always in his life, right? It can take time to work up to that. So if that's not your immediate reaction to something, you get to have your feelings. You get to be where you are and have all that. And what a beautiful place to work yourself to, looking for the positive aspects in every experience. Sometimes that is simply the pivot. And by looking for the positive aspects of whatever you are giving your attention to, you maintain your connection to well-being. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, that was a lot for that one card. We will move on to another deck here. Let's move on to the Mirrors deck, because I love this deck. And yes, Roberta is saying perspective is everything. Absolutely. And great example, Roberta. I thought I highlighted it. Roberta is saying Martin Luther King springs to mind. Yes, that's another great example for sure. Okay, one fell on the floor, but that doesn't necessarily feel like... We'll see if it pops out again. Let's see here. Okay. And it was face down, by the way. Okay, let's see here. What additional message wants to come through? The Mirrors deck by Janet Starr and Jeff Rolland. No, let's see here. What additional message wants to come through today for all of our live and replay viewers? There we go. Ooh, magic. It says, do you know how to create it? You know what? I think we create things by how we be. And of course, there's lots of different tips and tools and all of that. I know all about that. I'm a certified law of attraction coach. I get all that stuff. And I think a big component is about your being. So let's see here. Okay, I think this one here. What is this? Balance. Didn't we have this last week? Balance. Are you dancing in the rhythm of life? What is your life currently saying to you or reflecting to you? That's all I'm getting with that. Okay, let's move on to another deck. I'm excited and a little hesitant, not hesitant. I'm excited and maybe a little nervous to share with you what one of my new decks is. You know what? I'm actually going to, I'm going to show you one of my new decks, the one I'm not nervous to share with you. I have Tea Leaf Fortune cards. This is a massive box with 200 cards. And I just love these cards. I love these cards. And so let me go ahead and take these out and tell me what is going on in your world, guys. Let's see. What do we have here? Helene is saying, Helene, you are doing awesome. I see changes all the time that you are working towards and speaking to and moving through. So good job for you. And you're saying to rest more. And you know what? Keep following that intuition. Following that intuition, loving yourself through those changes. Okay, so let me show you. So these cards, look at this. It's a massive deck of these round cards. And because it's so big, I'm actually just going to take half of the deck to start. And these like feel so smooth too. They feel really good. Okay, let's see here. I'll pull from each stack I've got here. What message wants to come through? Is there a message? I'm going to pick those up. Okay. We have here, what do we have? We have broken ring. It says parting of the ways in either romance or business. Okay. And we have bag. Something important, such as a new job or a raise. Isn't that nice? This to me is a perfect example of what we've been talking about. You may have something that's ended, two people that have parted, a situation that didn't end the way you would have wanted. And look, every ending is another new beginning. You were then gifted something else. And what supports this coming in even quicker is that positive mindset, is learning how to use what you've learned and help, use it to apply it to you moving forward, you growing forward. Let's see what wants to come from this other stack, if there's anything. Any additional messages from this next stack? No. And there may not be. Oh, yes, there is. There's one. Interesting. Oh. It says gavel, involvement with the law. And what I'm hearing here, as I mentioned earlier, law of attraction, right? What I'm getting is universal law, moving in flow in the rhythm with universal law. Universal law. There we go. That is one of my new decks, and I look forward to using it more. Okay, let's move on to a chakra card. How about that? If you're with me live, say hello. I'd love to connect with you and see who's here. We're going to go ahead and pull a chakra card now. Let's see what wants to come through. I feel like the decks are being a little different today. Is there a card that wants to come through? There we go. Okay. We have seventh chakra, crown chakra, meditation and silence. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to choose 3. In the silence, there are 4 messages on here. I'm choosing number 3. In the silence, I am open to receive without asking and without expectation. In the silence, I will hear and see the truth. In the silence, I am open to receive without asking and without expectation. Well, we've talked a lot on this show about the importance of asking, and I stand by that. I think this is simply saying, just take a time to rest. Just rest and let the energy be open. Let the energy be open, right? So I take this as you've already asked. You've already done that work, and now it's ask and it is given. So you ask first, the universe gives to you, and then you're supposed to be open so you can receive. And that's what I hear this speaking to, is in order to receive, that's your time to say, wait a second, I've already asked. It's not about hurrying and rushing and trying to do 80 million things and asking 10 million more times. Now, how can I be open to receive? I'm going to let that be there. Yes. And Helene is saying 3 is my number always. Aw, good, Helene. Well, I'm glad it sounds like that resonated with you in some way. Let's move on to, okay, just going to do a few more decks here. Let's pull a self-love message from Louise Hay's How to Love Yourself deck. Okay, we have 2 cards that popped out. We have everything I need comes to me in perfect time. Everything I need comes to me in perfect time. I relax and enjoy life. I know that whatever I need to know is revealed to me in the perfect time and space sequence. And we have, I look for things to be thankful for. I have a perpetual attitude of gratitude. I am content to be who and what I am. And I think the key to that is also knowing who you are, so you understand what you're being content with. For some people, maybe not everyone. Okay, so, and that's also speaking to, of course, everything can be something to be grateful for. Okay, let me take a quick look at something over here. Yep, and we are good. Okay, let's move on now to, I'm not going to bring out the next new deck just yet. I'm going to move on to Kimmy's Rolodex deck. Yeah, for some reason I wanted to say Rolodex, but it's not Rolodex, it's Rolodeck, right? No, it is Rolodex. It is Rolodex. Okay. The Rolodex deck. There is a sense of peace and calm right now. Do you sense that? Do you sense that? What's coming up for you in this moment? I am sensing a sense of peace and calm. Okay, let's see what message wants to come through the Rolodex deck. Okay, some fell on the floor, but one stayed in my hand. That's the one. What do we have here? Oh, we have the number 6. Okay. Oh, and on the floor, I see 3. Interesting. Okay. So 6 and 3. Let's see if there's another message that wants to come through here. Helene saying, keep singing, Kim. Thank you, Helene. I do love to sing. It comes out often in my world. at home. You love to sing too. I know it. Okay, we're just open. We're open to seeing if there are additional messages that want to come through this deck. Maybe I'll do it the other way. What additional message wants to come through Kimmy's Rolodex deck to expand on today's message? Okay, I don't know. This one showed up right here, so I'm just going to go with it. How can you create a more fun beginning, middle, or end? Oh, this is so fitting. Oh my goodness. How can you create a more fun beginning, middle, or end to the story of today? How can you create a more fun beginning, middle, or end to the story of today? And sometimes that's where the magic is. That positive outlook can be magical because something that may have felt broken can have a different ending. We do have the ability to shift things, not necessarily control or change things, in some ways, but we can do some things to shift an outcome. Is that making sense? I believe it is, and not the exact words are coming to mind right now. And so, okay. Helene's calling me a show off. Showing up here and in life. Okay. Okay, let's move on to, we are down to, so here's the thing. Okay, the next new deck that I have, I'm going to save till the very, very end. It's not your typical deck. It's different from all my other decks. So heads up, heads up about that. Let's go ahead and first pull an angel card. Let's first pull an angel card and see what wants to come through. We have Walking with Your Angels by Keith Leon S. Daily Inspiration deck. And beautiful, beautiful artwork here. Well, I see I have a viewer in YouTube that is speaking to something that is not pertinent to today's show, but I do want to say thank you for being here. Good to see you. Okay. Okay, we're going to keep going. Oh, there we go. Here we have Archangel Azrael. Soul growth comes in many forms. Call my name for assistance in working through life lessons, through healing the pain of self-judgment, anger, guilt, and regret. I will help you find the light when things seem dark. I will stand by your side while you develop your spiritual practice and give you visions of all the good available to you. I think that's very fitting. Soul growth comes in many forms. It's speaking about working through life lessons, through healing the pain of self-judgment, anger, guilt, and regret, finding the light when things seem dark. Maybe you find it challenging to be more positive in an unpleasant situation. Finding gratitude in something that just does not and naturally yields good feelings in you. And this is a beautiful space where you can ask for help. Ask for help in being able to see the positive and being able to see the gift and being able to see the light. And I mentioned earlier about knowing who you are, because that will also support you in recognizing that you are the light. You are an extension of the light. And so You know what that means? That's a fantastic segue into me sharing with you about the Let Your Light Shine movement. And where is it? The Let Your Light Shine movement. Here we are. Yes. If you haven't yet heard about the Let Your Light Shine movement, I started this in March 2021, and it is an inspiring and empowering way for people to own and claim who they are, to shine their light. And in doing so for yourself, you create a ripple effect. You contribute to the ripple effect of inspiring and empowering others to embrace and own their light as well. So I invite you to join the Let Your Light Shine movement. It is free and easy. We do have people featured on our social media pages on Facebook and Instagram, and you also have total permission to join the movement without saying that you want to be featured on social media. So I have found that in sharing about the movement with people, it has sparked some people to say, yes, I am ready. Oh my gosh, I love this, Kim. And they join and they sign up. And in other people, they go, oh my goodness. And there is a degree of having to find peace with owning and embracing your innate light. And that is okay. I encourage you to do that because that is for you. That is a gift you give yourself. That is a reflection and representation of your own alignment with who you truly and authentically are, more than this physical being that you are here on earth. It is your birthright to claim alignment with your own light. And so, do you need the movement to be able to do that? No, you do not. And I see so many people who hold themselves back because they're not owning it. And this is a way to simply say, as a reminder, you have permission. You have permission. And each person, again, who claims that for themselves is another reflection and reminder of that innate permission. And so I invite you to join the Let Your Light Shine movement today. And you can simply go to, if you're with me on video, on Facebook or YouTube, you can see the link on the screen right now. It is a bit.ly link. And I encourage you to copy that, head on over there, fill out the short form, join the movement. And for those who are audio only listeners, you can go to bit.ly/Let Your Light Shine movement and connect to the page there. And with that, we're going to come down to our last two decks. I typically close out with a postcard from Spirit by Colette Baron Reed. But as I mentioned a moment ago, I'm actually going to share my newest deck after this one. So let's see what message wants to come through here. Helene, I am so happy for you. Helene is saying, okay, I get it, Kim O'Neill, and I hear you really loud. I'm glad, Helene. And thank you, Roberta. I appreciate that. And yes, yay, new deck. Exactly. Okay, so let's see what wants to come through. Postcards from Spirit. We love these messages. And as always, of course, let me know what you take away from today's Inspirational Message Monday. What comes through for you may be completely different or similar to someone else. Anything goes. It's all about what's coming through for you. Okay, what message wants to come through to expand on today's conversation? There we go. What is this one? It said, the bottom it says, be fearless. I know that's hard to read. I don't know if I've gotten this one before, so let's see. It says, dearest you, sometimes it's wonderful to give, but there are times you might find yourself over giving. Now might be a good time to check in and see where you might be cutting off the flow of abundance. Let others give to you, even if you are more comfortable being generous and being the giver, the healer, the rescuer. In the art of living, we sometimes overlook an important skill. Receiving gracefully and with gratitude, without diminishing yourself or trying to deny vulnerability or bringing an agenda of equality to it. Receiving is hard for some people. Maybe you? You do not need a this for that in your exchange with others. You are doing good in the world. Let the world give back and support you. Then you can give up the old stories that have you convinced you have to do everything alone with no help. Let your well be filled. We all love you so, so much. I want to point out one of the very last sentences there. It says, let your well be filled. Another way to say that is allow your well to be filled. And I want to point out that both of those are action words. Maybe I kind of question let. Is let an action word? I don't know, but allow is. It's one of those seemingly more passive action words, and yet it's an action. It takes practice to stop yourself from giving, right? Extending. You have to allow yourself to rest. And that goes back to what this seventh chakra was speaking to too, about receiving, right? Allowing there to be balance. You may be able to mentally justify, oh no, I have to give. But how balanced is that giving? And the positive aspect in that, right? The positive aspect is the learning from it and go, oh, I see my overgiving is actually cutting off the flow of abundance to myself. And you are very deserving, but this is how you also have the ability to control an outcome by cutting it off and overgiving and leading yourself to believe that you have to do that. Okay, swirling of thoughts right now in my head. And so again, how can you create a more fun beginning, middle, or end to the story of today? And I'm going to say more fun for you. What would be more fun and fulfilling for you? Okay, and so those are our primary messages. The art of allowing. Exactly, Roberta. Yes. And good for you. And Roberta, I know you are a beautiful giver. And I know there's a lot of people, a lot of us who have to work on this. And so the key is to first know that, right? Know that about yourself, and then start to identify where am I doing it? And then, okay, what am I going to shift here? What have I learned? What can I do differently next time? Okay, you ready? You ready for my new deck? Okay. Like I said, this newest deck, I have two new decks. I shared one earlier. The second one, I have the Rebel deck, y'all. Do you guys know the Rebel deck? The Rebel deck, the Oracle with Attitude. Okay. If you are not familiar with this deck, Roberta's saying, woohoo! If you are not familiar with this deck, brace yourself. Because like I said, this is not like all my other decks, okay? This is more of a, some people might describe it as real talk, kind of an in-your-face sort of message. So again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And the reason why I got this deck is because this deck has the ability to totally switch up the energy and potentially bring a little laughter into the conversation. So, okay, I've prefaced enough. Let's go ahead and see what message wants to come through. Okay, what message wants to come through? We are excited to receive. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, we have two. I'm just going to go with the top one. Okay, so again, just brace yourself. If you have children around, you might want to hide them from seeing the screen in a moment. Get some effing sleep. The back says, ooh, okay. So again, I told y'all these are different, okay? These are a little harsh. These are a little, This one says, you are being an, I'll say it. You are being an ass because you are effing tired. Face to pillow now. Some tough love. Okay. And I'm not fully saying the words because I do have to be cautious with the platforms that I'm on. So what is this one here? We have, detox. Drink a smoothie, unfriend that asshole, and throw some ish out. Drink a smoothie. I didn't mean to actually say the a-hole word. Drink a smoothie, unfriend that a-hole, and throw some ish out. Do we want a third one? Roberta, I love it. I'm glad it resonates with you. She's saying, ha ha ha, brilliant, need more rest for sure. And Helene, I'm so sorry. Her poor ears, her poor ears. Do we want another one? Okay, Roberta's saying, yes, love these cards. Okay, I know these are fun, aren't they? Okay, let's do one more, and then we will close out for today. So I didn't need to knock again, but let's see. Okay, what additional message wants to come through? No. What additional message wants to come through? No. What additional message wants to come through? There we go. What is this? Oh, this is good. Don't effing force it. Allow that ish to come to you. Allow. Beautiful way to close out this message. Allow. Allow. Be open. Receive. Allow. I want to even say, for all those who identify with the term overgiver, you've given enough. Okay. Love it. Love it. You guys are awesome. Love seeing all of you here that are here with me live. And of course, again, to all of our audio only replay listeners, this was for you too. Let me know what you think about today's conversation. This one was all about shifting that perspective of we see the thing that's not working or not happening, choosing to pivot, choosing to course correct, choosing to still see the gift in the lesson. I know many of my conversations are about that. And I feel like this one, we're really focusing on that, right? All roads lead to success. And even that is a perspective that you choose. Choose is another action word, right? When you're seeing something you don't like, experiencing something you don't like, then what are you choosing? So, okay. Awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed the messages today, Roberta. Thank you so much. And Joanne, good to see you here too. You guys are wonderful. If you enjoyed this, yes, please do give it a like, comment on it, share the video, share it with your friends. And I look forward to seeing you back next Monday in the 9 a.m. Pacific time hour, or on Thursdays at 12 p.m. Pacific time with another awesome guest interview. Have an amazing day, everybody. I'll see y'all again soon.